What's up, guys? It's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well, and I hope you had a lovely War of Three Kingdoms. We won, which I've just noticed. But overall in the rankings, I was in the Wei Kingdom, and it looks like Wu came out on top by just a smidge. So congrats to all of you who are in the Wu Kingdom. Now, it is the 1st of October, and as with the 1st of every single month, we have a brand spanking new hero of the month in the portal, and it is this lovely blue lady called NERASIS. So, of course, we're going to have a closer look at her today and see if she's any good as far as hero of the month go, whether she is one that you will be happy to get as a bonus from one of your summons, or whether she will just go onto the pile for the next soul exchange. So, let's jump right in. So NERASIS, like I said in the calendar review, she looks like Blue Loki's sibling. I mean, I actually really do like the art. Like, she does look cool. Those daggers. I mean, the devil tail and the horns and everything else that she's got going on. I kind of like it. I can't lie. She looks cool. So she is a ice hero. And she is of the fighter class, which means she gets a nice little revive on her talent grid. 30% chance to revive on the master talent, and then a 25% attack increase for 2 turns. So it's a decent talent class. No idea what the family bonus is going to be just yet. And she has got 2 passives. So both of these passives, I think, are actually really useful. The first one, obviously, perfect accuracy is incredible because it makes her a good tool against heroes like Sludges, for example, or any heroes that dodge and punish you. Sludges being obviously probably the worst of those, but she is still very, very useful because of that perfect accuracy. And then she also has resistance against burn, so she's immune to status ailments that deal burn damage, which is awesome because obviously you've got the Untold Tales 2 heroes. All of the heroes in the Merkheim realm do flame damage or fire damage, and she's just going to resist every single bit of that that's coming at her. There's quite a lot of heroes that deal out burn damage, so actually she's going to be really useful in both of those situations. She does get the special boost. So at the start of the battle, she deals an additional 30% damage on her special skill for the first 6 turns. And in battles with multiple waves, that refreshes. So all good so far. Team power wise, we are used to this, but the heroes of the month are a bit lower. And again, I'm not sure why they even bother doing that. So she's 1501 team power. And our latest released hero, you can look at him here, 1625. So they're, over 100 points in terms of team power below the newer heroes. But then having said that, as far as the actual, sort of base team power, there is newest heroes that were released not that long ago. I mean, a good illustration will probably be go into the season 5 portal, the June summon. Take somebody like Cleopatra. She's at 1210 on the team power. I think Khonshu 1199. So there's not that big of a difference in terms of those heroes for season 5 costumes. She's pretty close to them in terms of her power. She is quite attacking. So here it says 1256 on the attack, 1200 defense, and 1711 on the health. And yeah, if you second limit break these heroes, they're going to stay around a long time. But are they worth it? That's the thing. Are they worth pumping 10 alpha ethers and 5 regular ethers and all the other materials, your D blades, your telescopes, everything else that you need to put into these heroes to get them there? Now that's what we need to answer. So it's all going to hang off of the special skill, as it normally does. So hers is called Endless Daggers. As you can see, she's got at least 3, maybe 4, because you can't see the other side, but I'm sure there's at least 3. So she's going to deal 460% damage to the target running at fast speed. And then if the target is defeated by the attack, the caster gains 50% mana. Okay, let's just check this. It says, this is so after a character's received 5 direct mana additions from special skills, all subsequent mana additions will have reduced power. So this is just to prevent loops. I didn't know what it was on the previous card, but I've since been informed it is to prevent these endless mana loops where teams can just sort of strike down titans, and once you get them going, they just fire off like a machine gun. So that's why that's been done. It really doesn't have that big of an impact on anything other than that. Then she gets a stack. So the stack will go up to a maximum of 10. and the caster gets plus 10% on her attack stat. Then the element link gives all allies plus 20% attack for 4 turns, and the effect can't be dispelled. All right, cool. So she reminds me a lot of another hero that's actually featured in the June's portal at the moment. I mean, this is almost the same mechanic as Khonshu has. So I think in order to figure out whether she's a decent hero, we have to compare her to Khonshu's costume and see whether or not, they stack up. So first of all, she's running at fast speed. Khonshu is running at very fast speed. Okay, so she's lacking a bit in the speed department. You need an extra tile. So it's 6 tiles versus 7 tiles. Now, is that relevant in terms of what their special skills actually do? Well, personally, I don't think it is, because hear me out. So when she defeats a target, if her attack, that 460% damage, defeats the target, she gains 50% mana. But all we need to do is jump in here and have a look at him. So it says if the costume version, at least, if he defeats a target, and that's 450% damage, so it's 10% less, then he gets 45% mana. So it's worse. And that leaves him needing an extra tile for the charge. So the costume version of Khonshu, at least, would be losing, or would be there or thereabouts, because obviously you're lacking a tile to get to the first charge, but then you're lacking a little bit of mana. But then you get the regular version of Khonshu, where he drops quite a bit in terms of the damage. And team power wise, 1574 is on Khonshu versus 1501. So we're getting into the mathematics of it, but they're very, very close. And that's 425% damage. So the strike is not as hard. Yes, he's running at very fast speed versus fast speed, but this one gains 50% mana. So if you do defeat a target, you only need 1 tile match to get back to full charge. So without the costume, I think Khonshu, or with the regular version of Khonshu, if you did have the costume and use this version, then technically he's winning. But the class is worse, the fighter class. He does get the passive bonus on this one. So he gets 3 times passive on this skill. So 3 times for this passive to activate, where he gets a 40% chance to deal 70% damage to all enemies and give negative mana generation. So there's a bit of extra there. But as far as heroes of the month and competing, they're very close. Like, he gets the passive as well, where he resists sand damage, where you've got the hero of the month, NERASIS. She gets a passive where she resists fire damage. Sorry, I'm doing the wrong thing. Yeah, she resists burn damage. So actually, I think that's a lot stronger than Khonshu's, because he only resists sand damage. So, class-wise, I think she's got it. The passive-wise, I think she's got it. And in terms of the damage, 460%, I think she's, just about edged it. Stats wise, they're very, very close in terms of what they're doing, but she does a little bit more damage. So 460%. Plus, don't forget about that stack. So that stack, after you fire her off the first time, she's going to increase her attack by 10%. Now, I wish it was a bit more. Like, it could be 25% and have a maximum stack of 5 or something like that, because then you're talking about increasing to some pretty awesome damage. And I don't think it would be too much to ask for the hero of the month. But certainly in longer battles, I think that when you're increasing that, you can get up to a maximum of 100% extra attack. And then she's just, that 460% damage going to feel like 800% damage. So she's going to be taking targets out left, right, and center. She's getting another 50% mana on top of that. Just need that extra 4th tile to charge her, and I think that's going to be a bit of a crippling one. But if you can plan the board nicely and you can get your matches going, she's going to be increasing the attack of all ice allies as well. So if you put her as part of an ice attack team, I think she would do really well. So yeah, she's not a bad hero of the month at all. But is she worth it? I mean, is she worth those 10 alpha ethers and all of those other materials that you need to put into her to make her really relevant? I think for the top level players, I don't think this is going to be a hero that they're going to want to max out. I think it may be one that if they do sort of have the extras and they have a solid blue stack, that they may want to put her alongside them just so that she can be that finisher, because that's what she is. She's kind of a finisher, and she just, keeps making the rest of your ice stack stronger. and herself stronger at the same time. But if you're a entry level player or you're like a mid level player, then I think, yeah, I think 100% she can be an awesome part of a blue stack. I think she, like I said, I think she is more of an attacking hero, although she does have a bit of potential on defense because she's got the revive, she's got the resistance against burn, she's got that perfect accuracy. That's another thing I didn't mention that obviously Khonshu doesn't have. She's also got the special boost, so she deals the extra damage if you fire off, you know, within the first 6 turns. So yeah, they're very, very similar heroes. And in fact, I'd be hard pressed to choose between the costume for Khonshu and between NERASIS. So I can't say the costume for Khonshu is a terrible hero. And so as a result, I can't say she's bad either. I'll give her a solid A. I think as far as the heroes of the month go, we are looking at a decent hero. That's all I've got to say on her for now. It is one that I definitely hope I get, not just for collection purposes, but I might end up leveling her down the line a little bit. I've got a couple, I'm lucky I've got a couple of awesome projects to work on at the moment, but she would definitely be quite high up in the queue. So please do let me know in the comments what you guys think about NERASIS. Drop us a like, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. As always, I will leave my link to my Discord server in the description to the video, so that if you want to jump on there and you want to discuss anything regarding heroes, rosters, whatever it is, the group is filling up quite nicely now. I think we're up to about 100 and just over 100 people in there, but all really keen to sort of have a chat, discuss heroes and stuff like that. And if you're looking for a place where you can get a bit of advice outside of your alliance and a bit of sort of real-time advice, then I would recommend you joining that. I'll leave the link in the description. And yeah, that's it. Share it with your mother, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.